Hey folks, it's Cornell from YouTubeFishingVids here for Mystery Tackle Box. Check out the Catch Go straight tail worm. Oh, the straight tail worm, what would we do without him? Especially when you hook him up on a shaky head. How can you live without a shaky head? You can't. If you don't have a shaky head in your arsenal, you're gonna be missing out. The shaky head's a finesse technique that absolutely kills it. When nothing else works, you've got the opportunity to throw on a straight tail worm like this Catch Go, put it on your favorite shaky head jig and go to town. I've got a weed edge here. I'm gonna be tossing this into the super clear water and we're gonna hopefully be picking up some bass thanks to Catch Go. I got my shaky head all set up here with my 7'1" medium fast action rod. I've got 12-pound test braid attached to a 10-pound test fluorocarbon leader. That's a 3/16 ounce mustad stand-up jig head, shaky head jig, and I'm fishing some weed edges. So I've got weed edges, and I've got this beautiful Catch Go straight-tailed worm all set up ready to go. A shaky head's just not always for hard cover. There are times when a shaky head works perfect right on the edges of grass. If you're not throwing it right up into the heavy cover and you're just dropping it right on the edge, you're gonna basically be able to bring that shaky head jig right through the grass, pop it through, get out in that little edge open water where those fish are just sitting against the weed line. That's when you're gonna get popped. So be sure you get that Catch Go straight tail worm tied on. Be sure you give that a nice little shake, bring it right on the edge of the grass and hold on. The shaky head is also an excellent follow-up bait. If you're throwing some power baits, if you're power fishing, you're throwing crankbaits and spinner baits, if you have something come up and whack that spinner bait but it misses, that's your follow-up bait. Just like you can throw a weightless Senko and a lot of other different types of soft plastics as a follow-up bait, shaky head's a killer. So be sure if you have that shaky head tied on and you're doing a little power fishing and you miss that fish, throw right back out there, right at the spot where you missed the fish with that shaky head and hold on. Hopefully you get that follow-up bite. A straight tail worm like this Catch Go is not only a shaky head worm. Lots of different ways to rig it. One of the best ways you can consider fishing a straight tail worm, if you do have heavy cover, if you do have some weed edges and some thick matted weeds, is to obviously Texas rig it. So Texas rigging a finesse straight tail worm is another way to get that bait into cover a little bit different than you would with a shaky head. There's another great look of a way to rig up that Catch Go straight tail worm. Finesse and Texas rigged. When you're dealing with the heavy weeds like I'm in right now and you're dealing with these edges, that shaky head's a great way to go on the edge, but if you really want to throw it up into the cover, that's your way to go. Texas rigged, 1/8 ounce, up to 1/4 ounce depending on how deep you're going to go, but in real shallow cover, the lighter you can go, the better. You're not going to have that little weight getting dug up and digging into those weeds too bad and catching up too hard. So basically throwing that straight out, right up on the weed edge, right in the weeds and ticking it through the weeds is a great way to go with a very finesse spinning rod tackle Texas rig. There's a lot of great techniques you can use for a Catch Go straight tail worm like this. A heavier beefed up drop shot rig. You can easily fish it on a Carolina rig or a split shot rig if you choose. But some of the top two, like I said, the shaky head and a finesse Texas rig on this straight tail worm, absolutely kill it. For you guys that fish a lot of shoreline, the Texas rig, the finesse Texas rig, with a straight tail worm like this is absolutely phenomenal. You guys know this time of year, you've got a lot of matted weeds, you got a lot of thick cover right at your feet on the edge of those shorelines on the ponds and lakes that you might be fishing. So a straight tail worm, of course, is really finessey, it's really subtle, but if you get a little tungsten weight, a little lead weight, 1/8 of an ounce or so, not much more than that, and you're fishing it from the shoreline and you skim it along those weeds and you let it drop into holes, you're gonna get a lot of those finicky bass that are heavily pressured on some of those shoreline situations. So a Texas rig straight tail worm like this Catch Go with a real light weight is a really good way to go from the shore. If you're liking the product reviews and you enjoy the tips and tricks, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, drop a comment, and by all means, go to mysterytacklebox.com. Treat yourself to your own Mystery Tackle Box subscription for as little as $15 a month.